Many of us spend many hours in planting and grooming our own flower gardens each year. However, if we would but stop and look, and I mean really look, we would find unfolding before our eyes a floral panorama referred to by some writers as the beautiful world of wildflowers. There are about 25,000 different varieties of wildflowers in North America. Most of these are indigenous to North America, especially the cacti. Many, however, have reached our shores from foreign lands and have adapted themselves to our soil and climate. Wildflowers are found in profusion in mountain meadows and seem to burst through almost as soon as the snow has melted. Many varieties remain until covered by snow again. They are also found in the dry and thirsty desert, along fences, beside roads, in waste or uncultivated land. Some are so small they are probably trodden underfoot unobserved. They are found beside snow-fed lakes. Let's move in a little with our camera and take a closer look at some of the beauty nature has provided, such as this view of the Indian fig cactus graced by the swallowtail butterfly. The blossoms of the Indian fig cactus are almost wax-like in quality. There are many varieties of cacti in the desert, and someday we hope to make a complete show on this subject. This is the beaver-tail cactus. Now let's take a look at some of our more common wildflowers. This one should need no introduction. The name sunflower has been given to it because it keeps its lovely little face always toward the sun. Also in the sunflower family is the coneflower with its inconspicuously small yellow flowers. Another very common wildflower is the mullein. It has a delicate little bloom. This is one of the wildflowers that is not native. It came from Europe. The Hopi Indians are said to have dried and smoked its leaves, and it was thought this cured people who were mentally ill. The Greeks and Romans dipped the dried stalks in tallow to make lamp wicks. The English called it torchweed. The Spanish called it candelaria. This is probably the view you are more familiar with because they are found along roads and in the dry and rocky hillsides. Another familiar plant along our roads is the Utah bee plant. Because of the unpleasant odor of its crushed foliage, it is sometimes called skunkweed. The flowers are a principal source of honey, and birds, especially doves, are very fond of its seeds. The yellow spider plant is a relative of the bee plant, and both are members of the capper family. Its odor, like the bee plant, while not appreciated by humans, is very attractive to the bees and is a principal source of honey. This Indian paintbrush should also need no introduction. From early March until May, it can be found on the warm hillsides below 6,000 feet. They vary in color from orange to deep red. This bloom is the deepest red we have ever found. Also, along our mountain roads is the skyrocket galea. It is especially plentiful in the ponderosa pine belt. It is also called trumpet phlox and scarlet galea. When viewed singly, their long tubular corollas and star-shaped petals are a masterpiece of beauty. Another bloom which is found in the mountain habitat is the wild geranium. The pink-veined petals, deeply lobed leaves, and characteristic geranium odor help identify the plant. The flowers are perfect, with 5 petals, 5 sepals, and 5 to 10 stamens. Cultivated geraniums are really pelargoniums from South Africa. Probably one of the most beautiful species of the wildflower is the blazing star. They can be found blooming in roadside cuts or other newly disturbed soil. They will also adapt to dry, rocky soil. Their flowers consist of 5 long petals and a large number of stamens, almost as long as the petals. During July and August, they blaze forth in the warm sunshine to catch the eye. The purple aster blooms abundantly in soil to which it is adapted. The aster is also known by the name of starwort because of the star-like floral head. There are many species and shades. The aster is sometimes confused with the fleabane. Even though they are both members of the sunflower family, they are distinctively different. The purple aster blooms in late summer, while the fleabane blooms from early spring until frost. The ray flowers of the fleabane are almost twice as numerous as those of the aster and much more slender. This tall willowy plant is called fireweed. It gets its name from the fact that it is frequently the first plant to come in after a forest fire. Its colorful bloom gives new life to the blackened soil. I dislike the name that has been given to it. I think it is much too pretty to be called a weed. I would rather call it fireflower. It is one of the world's most widely disseminated wildflowers, being found throughout much of North America, Asia, and Europe. During May and June, the princess bloom is found sending up its spike-like lemon-yellow flowers. It differs from other plants in that it can grow in soil containing gypsum. It's a member of the mustard family. This lovely little bloom is found along the roadways or other places where the native soil has been disturbed. It is sometimes called oyster plant. Its true name is meadow salsify, and it is a member of the sunflower family. You only get to see this bloom in the morning hours because it closes at midday and stays that way until the next morning. Here it is with its seed, ready to be born on the wind, where it will be placed in fertile soil to start a new life cycle. Another roadway favorite is the curly cups gumweed. This plant is suspected of being toxic to animals, although it is seldom eaten. It is used in the treatment of asthma in humans. In the drier habitats of the alpine regions, you will find this beautiful blue flower, the harebell. The flowers, drooping on their hair-like stems, have perfect shape and simple grace. It is very widespread, being found in Scotland, North Europe, and Asia, as well as over much of North America. Early spring finds the mule ears lending a flash of yellow to the countryside. There are so many species of lupine that it is almost impossible to identify the numerous species. These are members of the pea family and can be found in the higher elevations. The lupines range in color from light blue, pale pink, white, or yellow. It is found mostly in blue and deep purple. Like other plants of the pea family, lupines add nitrogen to the soil and thereby improve the land on which they grow. Cinquefoil bush is common across the continent up to 10,000 feet. It is a member of the rose family and puts on a brief but colorful show, usually in July. Since ancient times, western yarrow has been highly regarded for its healing properties. Legend attributes this discovery to Achilles. Its Latin name is in his honor, Achillea lamulosa. During the summer, you can find the prickly poppy with its large white flowers in blossom along the roadsides where cuts have been made in abandoned fields. The large white flowers with its conspicuous yellow centers is sometimes called the cowboy's fried egg. Another name given to the plant is thistle poppy, so called because of the prickly stems. The plant is drought resistant, unpalatable to livestock, and the seeds contain a narcotic drug more potent than opium. The beautiful little blossom of the wild rose should not be overlooked. The pink bloom of the elk thistle is very attractive to hummingbirds and numerous insects. The fringed gentian is one of our most beautiful mountain flowers. It is found in moist meadows near or above 10,000 feet. It is from 6 to 10 inches tall. At times, it covers the alpine meadows with a carpet of color. It is the official flower of Yellowstone National Park. During the early summer and spring, the larkspur blankets our alpine meadows with a carpet of color. It lends its colorful bloom to beautify the landscape. It is a member of the buttercup family, and its Latin name is Delphinium. Its marked feature is a single spur of one of the sepals. Color and size vary greatly, but this purplish blue is one of the loveliest. The wild columbine is also a member of the buttercup family. They have conspicuously shaped petals with long hollow spurs that contain honey. This honey attracts insects, which make them difficult to photograph. The monk's hood is a cousin to the larkspur and the columbine, which has a beauty and charm of its own. It has a modified sepal shaped like a hood or helmet that protects the stamens. Another beautiful little bloom is the shooting star. This is found in the higher elevations. It is a member of the primrose family and grows 6 to 8 inches tall. They are found in a variety of colors, white, pink, or purple. The down-pointed stamens of the flower center and the reflexed or turned-back petals give the flower its common name. Globe mallow is found most commonly along the roads and trails. It is known by a variety of other names, such as Rose of Sharon, false mallow, and wild hollyhock. The scarlet globe mallow present a lovely coral red display as early as May and continues blooming throughout much of the summer. Alphileria is a member of the geranium family. It is a low-growing plant with starry pink flowers. This plant was found in our lawn. Compare its size with the blades of grass. Another common name for this plant is heronbill because of the corkscrew-like appendages of the fruits, which are tight twisted when dry but untwist when moist, literally screwing its seeds into the soil. This plant is common to the west, and it is sometimes called lady slippers, but it is really loco weed. Loco is a Spanish word meaning crazy. Some species contain a poisonous constituent causing the often fatal local disease in livestock, especially among horses. This is the species called woolly loco weed, which is found in nearly all elevations. Nearly all species are colorful and spectacular when in blossom, but some have a rank, disagreeable odor. Let's not overlook the unappreciated beauty of this colorful wildflower, which is cursed by many of us as we groom our lawns. But as we examine the common dandelion, it has a distinctive beauty of its own. Another yellow species, often classed as a pest, but gives the countryside a flash of yellow, is the lowly mustard weed of biblical fame. Quote, If ye have faith as the grain of a mustard seed, ye may say unto this mountain, Remove hence, and it shall be removed. Matthew 17:20. The white evening primrose, with its fragrant large white flowers, bloom early in the evening and last only a few hours. The next day they turn pink and wilt. Its cousin, the yellow primrose, also blooms at night, but sometimes in the daytime. It is found growing in deep shade. These pictures were taken among the ponderosa pines, where a shaft of early morning sunshine penetrated the foliage. There are many varieties of yucca in our desert. Some people think of the yucca as a member of the cacti family, but they are really a member of the lily family. Desert wallflower is a member of the mustard family. Wild flax or Lewis flax. This blossom is nearly an inch across and has 5 sepals and 5 petals, which is borne on the top of slender stems. It was named in honor of Captain Meriwether Lewis, who first discovered it near the Continental Divide during the Lewis and Clark expedition in 1804 and 1806. One of the many delights of the world of wildflowers is locating them and identifying them. This bloom was photographed in 1962, and as yet we have not identified it. It looks like it might be a member of the pea family. Here is another one we photographed just recently. It can be found along the roads in the Ogden Valley most of the summer. It was identified as chicory. The world of wildflowers is as large and beautiful as we wish to make it. How thoroughly we enjoy it is up to each of us, and we are rewarded commensurate with our desire and ambition. To enjoy this beauty costs little except in the physical effort to observe the simpler things that nature has provided for us.